Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about what I eat in a day, mental diet. I believe that internal changes have the most external impact, and therefore what we put in our mind has the most effect on our lives externally. John Kim puts it really clearly in his book, your mind is as important as your stomach. If you feed your mind shit, you will feel shitty. So I think it's high time that we start treating our mind right by feeding it with good things and consuming the things that enrich our lives as humans. So I'm going to share with you what I consume in a day to ensure that my mind is enriched, my mind is expanded, and my mind is strengthened in the way that I want it to be. The first thing that I do is to ensure that the first thing that I consume in the morning is something that doesn't drain me but adds value to my life. What I try to do is I try to listen to a podcast as soon as I get up. I am not a morning person. I take some time to kind of wake up in the morning, and so while I'm brushing my teeth, while I'm washing my face, while I'm doing my skincare, while I'm getting ready, doing my makeup, dressing up for the day, I ensure that I have my AirPods in so that I am adding something new to my life. If we think the same things every single day, we live the same kind of life every single day. There are so many podcasts out there that deal with mental health, physical health, leadership, time management, entrepreneurship. There's so many things that we can learn, writing, public speaking. So if you want to grow in some area of your life, it would be good to just pick a podcast and listen to it and grow from it. The second thing that I do is to ensure that whatever I consume in media, whether it is the news, whether it is YouTube, whether it is Netflix or other platforms, that I consume things that educate me, that edify me, in addition to entertaining me. There are so many things out there nowadays that we can just get lost in the amount of things that there is to consume. So I need to be choosy and picky. We might like many shows, we might like many movies, but we need to choose those that are good for us and add value to our lives. The third thing that I do is I use social media smartly. I have a video about this and you can watch it over here if you want to, but just to summarize, social media is good, social media is not bad, but everything in moderation. There are definitely some really good creators out there that can change our perspective about things. For example, I follow a lady, she posts a lot about how real women's bodies look like. For someone who's lived through the 90s and the 2000s where skinny was the norm in all media, I think to see real women with cellulite, with wobbly bits, with discoloration is something that is slowly changing my own view of what a woman's body should look like. And those type of things are very important, I believe. But again, there is the other side of social media where people are posting things that make you feel bad about yourself. I can follow someone, but if that person is making me feel bad about my life, I can also unfollow. And that's something I'm very conscious about, is what am I letting into my mind, even subconsciously. Like in seconds we scroll through and the reels may be like 10 seconds, we might look at it, but how it goes into your subconscious mind, we do not realize. The next thing I do is I read a lot. I am constantly learning, whether it is through books, whether it is through social media, whether it is through YouTube, whether it is through sites like Skillshare. I constantly want to grow myself. I want to learn new things. I want to understand new perspectives. And I think somebody said that very nicely, like reading a book is like crawling into the mind of a person and understanding their life. And that's what I feel while I read books, is I understand what that person has been through and their experiences, their perspectives, their research. We cannot know everything on our own. We cannot experience everything on our own. We have limited time on this earth. The books that I read, or the audiobooks that I listen to, or the videos that I watch, because nowadays a lot of people are reviewing these books on YouTube, I gain so much. Like, I gain things that I wouldn't have possibly gained if I just relied on my own life's experience. The next thing that I'm conscious about is I'm conscious about the conversations that I have with people. They say that great people talk about ideas, average people talk about things, and small people talk about other people. And how true is that? There are definitely some conversations or some people with whom the conversation is only about other people. So you're talking about, oh, you know what happened, this person did this, that person did that, oh, how could they do this? And that's the only conversation that you have. And I found that whenever I have these type of conversations with a friend or a loved one, that it drains me. The friends who I have conversations with about ideas, about things that we are learning, how are we growing, what is something that we're struggling with recently, and how are we overcoming it, those are the conversations that fill my cup. I learn so much talking to one friend of mine because we talk about realizations, we talk about learnings, and then when she talks about it, I'm like, oh, you know what, maybe I need to think about this. And then I notice that I start thinking with that perspective in mind, and we learn from each other. And those are the conversations I'm so grateful for. The last thing that I do, which is a struggle for many people, including me sometimes, is I sit still and think. Now, this might sound counterintuitive because we are talking about what do we consume to give our mind whatever it needs, and thinking is not consuming anything, so why would it help? I believe that thinking is like giving your mind rest. With our bodies, we can't work out 7 days a week and expect our bodies to function at the highest capacity because it is going to break down. That is why any exercise plan has a rest day or two, depending on how hard you're working out. Same with our minds. Our minds need to rest, our minds need to be still, our minds need to stop consuming all the time. And because of the world that we live in, where we have everything at our fingertips, we have our WhatsApp groups, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, we have everything at our fingertips, we are not able to give our minds that rest that it really needs. And so therefore, being able to carve out time every single day to just sit in silence and to think and hear yourself think is very important. By going outside for a walk, by sitting on your terrace when everybody's gone to sleep, by getting up early in the morning and just journaling your thoughts, just doing things that still your mind and allow you to process and think for yourself. Our mind is such an important tool and weapon, and if we treat it the way it needs to be treated, if we fill it with good things, if we fill it with noble thoughts, if we fill it with ideas and thoughts that edify our minds are gonna not only serve us, but it's gonna serve humanity as well. At the end of the day, you can choose what you put into your minds. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these